This right here is a nightmare situation for everyone involved. What happened? Somebody tried to go over the jump and they crashed, and well, the riders after them almost crashed into them. The riders after them being me and my son. Fortunately, my boy was quick enough to evade the crashed rider, but maybe somebody else would not have been able to do so. I may not be the most proficient mountain biker in the world. If you want to see mountain bike videos of guys taking epic drops and backflips and whatever, this is not the channel for you. But I was something like an EMT in a past life, so what I can talk to you about is how to secure an accident and how to take care of the people that are injured. And that's what I did here. Basically, my old instincts kicked in, and I thought maybe this might make a good video and maybe some kind of instruction or information for you guys if you encounter something similar on the trails or in the trail center or the bike park. Because we all want everyone to get down safely down the hill, but sometimes accidents happen, and if you know what to do, it's going to help everyone involved. So first things first, don't rush in and try to help the person that's injured. Make sure you secure the site of the accident. In this case, I first tried to wave off the riders that came down the hill. One of them immediately caught on what I was trying to do, and the other, they jumped anyway. So next thing I did was to put my bike in the way to kind of make people know when they come, okay, there's something going on here. And I also told somebody else to take my place up on the hill or up on the jump to block anyone coming. Next thing was getting the bike off of the guy on the floor. When we finally got the bike off of him and got him to his feet, we realized he was not able to walk and he started shaking violently. So we had to put him down flat on the ground. And he also started to say he's getting cold and had a headache and whatever. So it was time to call an ambulance. Now, if you're in a bike park that is well maintained, usually there are some course markers around there somewhere. And usually these markers, they kind of signify the so-called safety sectors, or at least in which part of the trail you are. Because if you call an ambulance and tell them, hey, I have an accident on that trail, and the trail is, 5 kilometers long, the emergency personnel is going to have a hard time finding you. And if a real nasty accident has happened and somebody is severely injured, time is of the essence. So to communicate where you are exactly and how to get there is paramount. So whenever you visit a new place like a new bike park or trail center, make sure you find out where everything is and if there might be an accident, how you would communicate that to emergency responders. Even on my home trails out in the wilderness, there are sometimes signs at the side of the road that point to the trail inside the woods or for emergency personnel to reach it. So wherever you are and whenever you're visiting some place new, make sure you know your surroundings. In the current situation, we got lucky in the case that the guy on the floor was conscious, but if you have a head injury or if you land on your head and the person you want to help is unconscious, this is a problem. I'm not sure what the requirements for driver's licenses are where you live, but here in Austria it's mandatory for everyone to take a first aid course before they are even allowed to take the exam for the driver's license. So at least everyone with a driver's license around here knows how to, or should know rather, how to put an unconscious person in a safe position. I think the correct term in English is recovery position. In German it's called the stabile Seitenlage. Anyway, you have to put the person on the side in such a way that if they were to vomit, that the contents of their stomach would flow out to the side of their mouth and not back into their lungs. That's basically the gist of it. And whenever you find somebody conscious, make sure they stay conscious, because it's really important when emergency responders arrive that the injured person can actually tell them what happened and what's wrong and where anything hurts and whatnot. If they're unconscious, they can't do that, and emergency responders can't help them that well. Also, I don't want to add insult to injury to the poor guy who crashed down here. I don't know how the crash happened. Maybe they did not do anything risky and it was just bad luck. but they weren't wearing any real protection aside from a road bike helmet in the bike park. And I'm sorry guys, but that's just a no-go. If you're at the bike park, you're increasing the risk of injury because you're not going down the hill 1 time or 2 times, you're going down the hill 5 times, 10 times a day or even more. And every time you go downhill, you increase the risk of injury. So whatever protection you can wear it. Especially if a bike park like this has a bike lift. Also, it probably didn't help that his old e-bike weighed, I don't know, more than 30 kilograms or something. Not a knock on people riding e-bikes, but if you have additional mass weighing down on your body or doing some kind of leverage between your limbs and the ground, then yeah, that can lead to more severe injuries. In the current situation, we had to wait for almost half an hour until emergency responders finally arrived and were able to take care of the guy. Basically, I played traffic warden until then and tried to wave off everyone coming in and shouted, "Hey, stop, there's an accident or something." People were super nice, super understanding. Some stopped and tried to help and give some water and food, and some tried to make light of the situation and engage the person in some conversation. Fortunately, as I said, they were conscious and they were more or less in good spirits. Of course, they were not happy because I'm afraid they broke their leg. I think their shin bone maybe. They were not able to put any weight on their leg. But overall, as usual, mountain bikers are a great bunch of people, and everyone kind of asked, "Hey, should we help? Is there anything we can do?" And I can't remember how often I said, "Yeah, emergency response is on the way, don't worry." So to summarize, if you encounter an accident on the trail or in the bike park, make sure that before you do anything else to secure the site of the accident. Then make sure that the person that was injured is safe. Get them out of the way of the trail if necessary. If they can't continue on their own, or if they are unconscious, call emergency responders. Especially when they're unconscious. That's a really, really high-risk situation. I know a lot of movies make light of people going unconscious or getting knocked out and being unconscious. No, it's a severe medical injury and you really, really should take that serious. And if you have to call emergency responders, make sure you wait until they arrive. Don't leave anyone injured alone in the woods or out on the bike park, because their situation could grow worse, and then maybe you have to provide some additional assistance and, God forbid, CPR. If you don't have a driver's license or haven't done a first aid course for some reason, I really highly recommend doing it, because it really opens your eyes to what can happen, how it could happen, and what you should do in case of an accident, wherever you are. And even if you took a first aid course sometime in the past, maybe do a refresher once in a while, because procedures sometimes change and there's new information available. So anyway, yeah, maybe not the most lighthearted topic, but I thought it was important to get at least some kind of information out there what you could do and should do if you encounter an accident on the trail. And yeah, I'm going to leave you with a couple of nice video clips from us at the trail center afterwards, because even though that accident happened, we were able to still enjoy our day. And I hope the person that was injured is making a full recovery and hopefully get back on their bike soon.
Ja sam uskočila na plac.